I have this very tall cabinet that I would like to move, and the person that would normally help me isn't around, although I think ideally I would do this with a second person. But I'm gonna do it using these furniture movers that have wheels. First, on the casters, I'm gonna go ahead and lock them because I don't want them slipping while I'm trying to get my object onto them. So I wanna make sure that all of them are locked so that they're nice and secure. Secondly, each one has a lip on one corner and then another corner that doesn't have a lip. So you want to be able to slide onto the lip that doesn't have a corner and push it into the cornered one. That way it doesn't come off while you're moving it. So I've rearranged them to make sure that they're set correctly. And then I also have my block here to raise the jack because the jack on its own doesn't reach high enough. This is pretty tall bottom to a piece of furniture. So I've got my blocks and that will help raise it so that I can get the right leverage that I need. There are a couple different blocks. I have up to 4 and I'm using all 4 on this one. So once I get that first side in, because this is a tall cabinet, this is what I mean where I'd really think it would be better to have a second person to stabilize the top of the cabinet. It's also filled with stuff, so that's probably not the best idea either. But once you get one side on, then you have to very carefully use the jack to lift up the other side and slide each caster underneath. Once I have all 4 under, I can release the brakes, and then as you can see, the object moves around pretty easily and I'm able to manipulate it and bring it over to the area that I want completely on my own. Now that my cabinet is where I want it, it's time to take it off of the casters. This is where I pull out the jack again with my risers and I lift up the object enough so that I can slide out the casters from underneath 2 of the feet. That leaves it in a stable enough position that I can go around to the other side and remove the casters as well. If this were a shorter or wider piece of furniture, it probably would have been even easier. I think I did choose one of the most difficult styles of furniture to use these on for the first time, but clearly I was able to move it completely by myself. And I mentioned this at the top, but looking back on it, I don't think I should have done this alone. And so if you're going to use a kit like this, be sure to make good choices and take care of yourself and don't be reckless. And then I do realize that I probably should have done this before. I didn't even notice it in the packaging when I opened it, but there are these felt stickers that go on each of the casters. I assume that is both to provide non-slip to the surface as well as to protect the furniture. And so I'll go ahead and apply those now. I do think it would have been easier to use them having a better non-slip surface. So I'm glad that these came with the packaging and I definitely messed up not putting them on first. But yeah, this kit was easier to use than I expected, and I was able to move something that I definitely wouldn't have been able to move otherwise in a way that protected my floors and didn't damage them. And that's pretty important to me because we just put these floors in. So I'm really happy with this kit. If you want to check out the kit that I used, there's a link to it below in the description.